Hello there, this is a wobbly camera, whistle stop, snapshot of Harvard in action. All your lecturers will be telling you to use credible academic information. Our first port of call always has to be Leganto, which takes us to online library resources. We should always have the UWTSD referencing guide to hand, or more accurately, to screen. We can have this electronic document minimized on screen when we are writing our assignments. When we need to check out whether we are referencing correctly, we can maximize the UWTSD guide just to check that we're on the right tracks. Okay, so let's assume that we've been challenged with an assignment which has something to do with psychology, and in our planning process we decide quite logically that we're going to define psychology. We're going to discuss the nature of this subject. So we get a credible text online or a physical copy, and we note down important information. Check out the front page. Who's the author? What's the title of the publication? Okay, so the first thing we do is we write down the author's name using the Harvard format. It's not Richard A. Griggs, it's Griggs, R.A. Always, right? Griggs, R.A. Our reference list at the back of our papers must always be alphabetical by the author's surname. So we start off Griggs, R.A., year of publication. This was 2017. Then we have the title of the publication. Psychology, a Concise Introduction, 4th edition. And Harvard also asks us who the publisher is and where they are. And when we look in the inside cover, we see Worth Publishers, New York. So the full reference to be listed along with other sources of information at the back of our paper, which helps us score well for engagement with literature, the cornerstone of all good academic work. We write out Griggs, R.A., 2017, Psychology, a Concise Introduction, 4th edition, New York, Worth Publishers. That's really essential information for you to get to grips with early on in your academic career. When we refer to information from this book in our main body, we are talking about in-text citations. I'm citing the source that I've listed at the back. So to tell my reader, I refer to Griggs and the year of publication in my main body. I say, according to Griggs, 2017, and then I tell you what Griggs says. Always the author's surname and the year of publication in brackets. So take it one step further, then I'll stop. We're looking for psychology. That's what we want to define. So what we do is we zip right back to the subject index and we look for psychology. Alphabetical index, we find psychology is mentioned on page 1. So then, quite simply, we go to page 1 and we see this. Psychology is the science of behaviour and mental processes. Psychologists attempt to understand all aspects of both our observable behaviour, such as speech and physical movement, and internal mental processes, such as remembering and thinking, and so on. So straight away we've got golden nugget information from Griggs. Straight away we are seeing the nature of psychology from Griggs's perspective. So immediately we can write that down and we can say, right, brilliant, I can use this in my paper. What I can now do is to see whether people agree with Griggs or disagree with him. I can compare and contrast perspectives of psychology. So then we might look using Leganto for additional information. And here we find Essential Psychology, the 3rd edition, published this year or last year by Philip Banyard and his colleagues. So we would write out, again using the author's surname initial, format, Banyard, P, Norman, C, Dillon, G, and Winder, B, 2020, Essential Psychology, 3rd edition, with the place of publication and the name of the publisher. This is a great big book, But don't be put off by that, because all we need to do is to interrogate this book by looking at the subject index and again looking for psychology and its variants. And then we're in a position to say, according to Griggs 2017, the essence of psychology revolves around, and we can say what Griggs says, and then we can say that maybe Banyard finds something very similar in the nature of the subject, or they might differ in important ways. When we see these golden nuggets, lecturers smile and they attribute marks accordingly based on your demonstration of your research skills, your engagement with literature, and your use of the Harvard referencing system.